for me, in whatever I do in life, with my friends, with my patients, with my colleagues in business, and especially in relationships, I try to be very honest where I stand on things, and I try to be a really good communicator. So it's exceedingly difficult to communicate in this house because things can be misconstrued.
Yeah.
And you also, you know, it's hard to have, like, a lot of times a conversation has to be completely private to get your point across, which I think you understand.
Yeah.
And that's why the conversation we had yesterday was kind of important for me, which I think you also understand. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think he probably does. He's probably a little insecure about it. You're very special, and that makes him insecure. You're very unique. And I think that there's nothing wrong with expressing the way you feel, and he'll probably do that more in the future.
I hope so.
Do you agree with that? Don't you think communication's so important?
Don't I think what?
I think communication is
Yeah,
the most important
definitely.
thing. It's like, here's where I stand on it. I'm open-minded. Like, see,
Well, I think it's like one of the most important things.
like, even if you want to extrapolate boring information and apply it to the show, like at the beginning of the show, whenever you guys would win the HOH over and over and over and bring us up there, you guys were like, what's your plan? What's your plan? And I was always like, look, my plan is to keep lines of communication open and see what happens. Let's not burn any bridges, you know?
Yeah.
And I said that over and over, to especially to Kaser, because he was constantly like, where do you see this going? And it's like, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you?
Who's in there?
I could see him. Like, as much as I, in the context of this game, I respect Danielle very much, she has to go. Erica is a butt kisser. I don't respect that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, when James leaves, the entire crew that's left is fun as hell. Like, say what you want, but those girls have a good time.
Yeah, they're fun.
Bitchy, yes. Backstabbing and two-faced, yes. Fun, that's true too.
I think Erica's a much better competitor than she's letting on, though.
I agree.
I think she's been throwing things.
I agree. There's no doubt in my mind.
Because she knows that if she just throws things to the end, she can just, like, take it at the end if she wants.
Of course. I mean, I totally agree.
Erica is an Amber Alert.
Pretty much. The question is, could she win in the finals? And the people, everyone's saying...
Well, it depends. Against Boogie, possibly.
See, that's what Boogie and I talked about that today. I was like, hey, Boogie, I had a really good conversation with Janelle last night, and I have 100% confidence that she's down with us, and I want you to always feel, secure that much in the same way I want you to feel secure that. And he's like, well, what would be your ideal, like, how do you see this shaking out? I'm like, Boogie, can I point something out to you? You can't beat anyone in the finals. I'm like, maybe me, but that's it. And I'm like, so you have no choice but to bring Janelle with you now, because if we bring her to the finals, at least we can all eat some banana bread. And I'm like, but you're not beating any other individual in this game with the maybe me, maybe not. So, like, let's, and he was like, I already know that. And he's like, so, I mean, him and Danielle, he's lost. Him and Chicken George, he's lost. Him and Erica, he's lost. Him and James, he's lost. So, not only does he like you, and he's going on my recommendation, but he also knows game-wise, that's his only chance of getting the street cred that he desperately desires. And I'm in the exact same boat, you know?
I think you could win.
Well, you're sweet, because we have a nice relationship, but I can't beat any no juries. The jury, trust me.
Don't you think you'd have a good chance with me, though, if I brought you to final two?
No, but I think I'd have a good chance at eating a third of a piece of banana bread if that happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
no,
listen, if you...
I think you have a really good chance, because, like, half the jury's going to hate me, and half of them's going to hate you.
Anyone who's smart is going to start trying to carry me to the jury, because I'm kicking people out and not apologizing and telling them to their face. Not in a mean way, just in a like...
Yeah.
Shit, it's about to go down. I mean, like, when I have to vote Jay and George out, if that kind of time comes, I'm like, Jay and George, you're awesome, you're hilarious, amazing belly flops. You're an awesome guy, you don't have a malicious bone in your body. The reason that you're not still here is because this, you know, this show's not what it was when you were here, and you have to have a mean bone to win.
Right.
If you would
The
have...
thing is like, if it was me and Boogie in the final three, we would both bring you.
Fine.
So no, Boogie wouldn't bring me, obviously.
What's that?
Boogie wouldn't bring me.
Well, he would bring me because that's his best chance of having street cred, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, big picture, you know, like, I don't want to, I mean, that's probably true, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he knows that too, which is that if like, let's say, let's say it was me against, or let's say Erica's voting out me or Boogie. Well, Boogie's kind of her showmance, but if she's as backstabbing as we think she is,
Yeah.
she's going to vote him out because she has a better chance against me in the finals.
Yep.
Same with Danielle. I mean, having me with you and Boogie, is a blessing in disguise, because if all hell breaks loose and something like things are discovered and we get busted out, or there's some weird twist or something,
Yeah.
well, there's a chance someone might take me, not knowing that you're on my side on the jury. That's why I want people to think we hate each other too, you know?
Yeah.
Because then, when you go to the jury house, then you can influence votes the other way.
Right. So tomorrow Julie's going to say that the power is expired?
We don't know. Boogie, see, the problem is, you understand, Boogie couldn't tell me. We both went in there and did it. And then, but Boogie did the talking and they registered that as his. And I was like, fine. So then, I went and guessed the same thing later when no one was around.
Mm-hmm.
Just because in case something happened to him, I would be the next one.
Okay.
But the problem is, they said to him, I don't know how much I can tell you, but they said to him, you cannot discuss this with anyone else, including Will, or it's immediately you're going to get a penalty now. So he couldn't explain to me what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, that's why I said to Boogie, look, don't use this power. Put me up. I can beat Erica. And if all hell breaks loose, if you get really uncomfortable, then you can use it and change it. He could have, when Howie and Erica was up, if Boogie was against you, he could have been like, okay, Howie, get up. Janelle, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
He could have done whatever he wanted to do, and he didn't per my urging. And in retrospect, it's easy to say, what should we have done? Well, we could have gotten rid of Danielle, but then it would have been, you know, like Boogie was like, look, we can get rid of Danielle. Well, great, but we don't have an agreement with Janelle that we don't trust James. James is going to go with Janelle, Howie. Now you have 3 strong, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were like, so, I mean, there's no point getting rid of Erica because we could have just voted her out if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
there was no point, obviously no point in using it on Chicken George. I refused to let you leave. James had pulled himself off with the veto, so he couldn't leave. And, you know, Boogie was like, well, get rid of, I was like, get rid of Danielle, or we both were discussing all the options. And then we're like, no, because all it's going to do is take James to be like, Janelle, hi, we're together, three of us. Let's get Chilltown. And then it would have been a waste of using it, because Danielle wasn't really coming after us at that time.
Yeah, but neither were we.
You're right, but everyone has to go after somebody. Well, that's why he didn't use it. And then Chicken George put up Howie, and we're like, well, you know, if we get rid of Howie, as Janelle said about James, maybe Janelle will come with us. And Boogie was like, no. And I was like, she might. And you did.